After I learned about your company from the website and the testimonial that I saw my friend Tom Douglas, I called, and that was very comforting to me to know someone that had done business with you, because dealing with flood damage is not a problem, not flood damage, but water damage. It's a problem you don't want to have, and we didn't know where to start. My parents are both turning 80 this year. They've been married for 52 years. High school sweethearts and married, living in the same home for 45 years. They built it. My mother made the plan. She drew out the plan on just white paper years ago. And so it was our family home for growing up years, and then they've lived there ever since. So when we had this problem, it was difficult. It was difficult to, first of all, know what to do, even who to call. So, like everybody, I searched the internet, saw Tom's testimonial, so I called here and talked to Jim. And Jim was just so helpful, even on that first call, because I didn't have a clue about how to deal with things like that. There was some concern about mold. We needed to do testing. I just didn't know where to start. And so the first phone call, not only was he friendly, but he was very informative. Gave me lots of information about things to consider. So I think the next thing we did was a walk through it. He met us in Bolivar. My husband and I met him, and I was immediately impressed with his knowledge of construction, because my husband is one of these guys that can do anything, and he has built homes, and he and Jim just talked the same language, and they discussed, went through the house. They were very helpful in talking to my parents about what needed to be done. We set up a time, talked, I think it was maybe a week or two later, they were able to, first of all, the next step is the bid. Gave us a bid. We were very pleased with the bid. We felt it was a lot of work for a very fair price. So that was attractive. My brother and sister and I and my parents, we sat down and went over what was suggested for the remediation and the bid, and then y'all worked us in the schedule in the next week or two, and it took a couple of weeks to complete, but it looks great. I think at first they were, it was emotional, because anytime you have to dig in and fix things that you've had for so long, it's hard. But the guys were real friendly. They were very professional. My dad said he couldn't believe how hardworking they were, how much they respected Jim as the boss. They were very polite. I think the thing that you can't really know about this until you experience it is just the guys' understanding of what two people who had lived in a house for 45 years were feeling when all of this remodeling was being done. And so they were kind and compassionate, and they shared information. They were just very caring, and in fact, so much so that my dad wanted to cook hamburgers for him and have a cookout on one of their nights.
Which he did.
And he did, yeah. And so he was very impressed with the work and the quality of the people, and we're very grateful for that. Yes, I would highly recommend Bixler to anyone who needs help when water comes into your life, one way or another. It can do damaging things, and so I would highly recommend Bixler, not only because of their ability to fix the problem, but for their compassion and their understanding along the way.